Hello and welcome to another update video about ADA. Yeah, ADA continues to suffer. I mean, I've got my wave count here, but it is an unreliable one. We talked about that. It really only works from a bullish point of view, in my opinion, here as a leading diagonal. Very weak. ADA very weak. It is holding above the 30.5 cent level. This was the breakout point from down here, from this let's say from this ascending triangle, you could actually say. Yeah, we had a bit of an ascending triangle here. ADA broke down initially here on the 10th of June, 9th of June. We had a sell-off candle here and a lot of additional volume that came down. And I did say from the start that ideally, I want to see ADA above that level. And if it gets above that level, we can be tentatively more bullish, but it depends on the structure as well. Now, it had an ascending triangle, broke back above the level that previous swing low we had here in March, actually. So it was previous support, flipped for resistance first, yeah, and then now again it seems like ADA wants to flip it back for support. So however, I see this area in which ADA currently is more like an in-between space between bullish, potentially bullish, which would be above 38 cents, a sustained break above 38 cents, yeah, and bearish below 30.5 cents. So here it's in a little bit of a range that where we have, I think, an indecision, you could say. Yeah, so it's not exactly clear, especially because the price structure doesn't really give us much confidence. I mean, honestly, take a look at that. We moved up in a very corrective and overlapping way. I mean, you can get breakouts of these structures to the upside, as you can see here. Sometimes that happens, but you can never rule that out, right? Which is why we tracked a bullish scenario on this chart as well. And I even provided a trend reversal area here, a setup, basically an entry point for anybody who wanted to use it. And that would be in profit. However, it's not one that I'm convinced about, okay? Because I need to see proof. I need to see evidence, confirmation, especially when the market starts an uptrend with such a choppy price structure. It's just not impulsive. So we need to be on the lookout that this could easily break down again. That's why I'm tracking two things, the 30.5 cent level, as well as this ascending trend line. I think when this trend line breaks, we're looking for something more bearish, because then we break anyway below 30.5 cents as well. At the moment, I remain open to the idea it could go higher. I'm actively looking for possibilities, but it doesn't look good, okay? It doesn't look good. So just be aware that as long as we're holding above the trend line, of course, the uptrend is happening and going, but I don't see a clear setup. So there's too much uncertainty. And anybody who wanted to trade this, I would say, look, use anything but not Elliott wave. Elliott wave tells us, I mean, if you have an edge with this, I think it would be hard to have one, other than unless you want to trade pullbacks to the trend line. But you can even see that any long trade pullback to the trend line, you can do it. It's just not super profitable. This one would have been, yeah. Of course it works. This is one possible way of trading such stuff, but it doesn't give you a clear path. So Elliott wave tells us here this is not clearly bullish at this stage, and it's at the moment a low probability wave count. Okay, so you don't really get the massive edge with Elliott wave. That means we just wait for great setups. Yeah, so it's a lot of time in trading is anyway waiting for good setups. This was one which wasn't very good, but it was still one that I could defend to put on this chart. I don't see anything at the moment from a pullback zone or anything. Yeah. Other than that we have a pullback to the trend line, but it can easily break. It's not that I have the support here of Fibonacci levels that would give me a clear indication where sentiment is likely to turn. I don't see that, okay? The bullish sentiment is likely to appear once we get either a 5-wave move up, which I don't have at this stage, or a break above 38.5 cents. Now, the scenario I'm tracking in parallel, and that is one that I would certainly consider much more if we break below that trend line I showed you. It would be an Elliott wave triangle here that in December 22 we dropped down in a third wave, and that this fourth wave is still unfolding as an Elliott wave triangle, A, B, C, D, E. We could then in the next stage get into this region between 28.5 and 23 cents again, where we are making a turn and do a lower high and would then break down. This is just something that I track as well. But I don't have enough waves for, as evidence for a triangle. It's just something to track and watch. Okay, that's my update about ADA. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.